Narome and Alex Huey. Robrecht's time, 13.296. 13.296 for Robrecht. Waterman with the bell. Narome on track. Alex Huey on deck. James Campbell Harris and Mike Payne up next. Ben Flom currently holding the quick time so far of the session with a 12.237. Looking for number 60, Campbell Harris to the ready area. Eric Waterman time 12.474. 12.474 for Eric Waterman. We do have enough riders today that these times will be a qualifier to get into the group of 16. So out of 21, we will be knocking this list down to 16 riders. So the times during this session will be very critical for our riders, not just for seating in the tournament upcoming, but they got to get a fast enough time just to continue racing today. Right now, again, our quick time, Ben Flom, 12.237. Currently the time to beat. Alex Huey on track next, followed by Campbell Harris, Mike Payne, Michael McCorkle. And that'll be our new quick time so far from Narome, your last rider out there, 12.112 for Narome. 12.112, our new quick time of the session to beat. Alex Huey with a speedy time. Our new leader today, 11.733 for Huey. 11.733 for Alex Huey. An impressive half lap there. That'll improve our time almost a half a second on the quick time so far. James Campbell Harris is getting up to speed next. He's over there in turn 3. On deck behind him, Mike Payne, followed by Michael McCorkle and Mike Ritter. I like how we intentionally put all the mics right next to each other in our start list. That was very clever. Keep it well organized. Maybe it's alphabetized by first name, you know. No, it's not. Campbell Harris getting the bell. Mike Payne coming on track behind him. Alex Huey a moment ago, setting the quick time to beat now, 11.733. Top 16 qualified today. And another improvement on our time. Campbell Harris, 11.65. James Campbell Harris at 11.65, your new quick time today. Mike Payne getting the bell. It's Michael McCorkle coming on track next. Mike Ritter, Zachary Simon, Daniel Tomko should all be heading to that ready area. The Marymoor Grand Prix on its way here, right in the middle of this fun weekend of great racing. Yesterday, racing was excellent and fun for everybody here. We had a great time and more good racing tonight. We'll start up at 6 o'clock for the finals for all these. This is essentially a qualifying event for a long tournament that's going to happen today for our two categories racing in it. It's going to be sprints that will again conclude during tonight's program. So if you want to continue enjoying the fun with us, we'll start back up at 6 p.m. for that. For those of you here at the Velodrome in person, I'm glad to see some folks walking in from the park and enjoying the scene here. Our most recent time, that was Mike Payne with a 13.419. Payne with a 13.419. Michael McCorkle got the bell and is getting up to speed for the Flying Gorilla Academy race team. Mike Ritter on track, followed by Zachary Simon, Daniel Tomko, and Frank Kovacs. McCorkle, your time is 12.67. Michael McCorkle, 12.67. Bell's ready for Mike Ritter right now. Zachary Simon coming on track, followed by Daniel Tomko, Frank Kovacs, and Stephen McLaughlin. This is currently 13 out of 21 in the start list for the Masters Cat 3 men on the track now. Once we get to the bottom of this list, we'll go to the top of our start list for the elite women in the 200-meter qualifier. So about 8 more riders here to go. So Stan Douglas is coming back for his effort after Zach Simon is all done. That's the rider that's in their first lap right now. So we'll get back the retry for Stan Douglas here in just a moment. Ritter just finished up. We'll get their time shortly as well. Bell's ringing for Simon now. Number 78 for the Coalition cycling team. Mike Ritter with another quick time today. Currently our third fastest, 11.88 for Ritter. An 11.88 for Ritter. The gear is just, equipment's not working for Stan this morning. Back to the current effort. This is Simon coming in for their time. The fast time to beat right now being held by Campbell Harris with 11.65. This is Daniel Tomko getting this first lap now as we got a little out of sorts and out of order with Stan Douglas having to come back off again, but we are still on schedule here. We are in the 15th rider now in their first lap. On deck is Frank Kovacs, followed by Steve McLaughlin and Andy Baker. Simon's time, 12.493. 12.493 for Zachary Simon. Our leading time still 11.65 of James Campbell Harris. Tomko getting the bell. Coming on track behind is Frank Kovacs. Steve McLaughlin is on deck, followed by Andy Baker, Brent Berg, and then Alex Siegel. Another quick time for the leading factory racing team as Tomko comes in with the second fastest time of the session, 11.73. 11.73 for Tomko. Frank Kovacs getting the bell. McLaughlin coming on track behind. On deck, Baker, followed by Berg, Siegel, and Karlberg, our last rider of this start list. Elite women will be coming up shortly. Another quick time here for Frank Kovacs, currently slotted in at 4th overall, 11.875. 11.875. We now will have 20 riders in this group, so 4 will not be advancing on. Pardon that. It will get a restart for Stan. So we'll get one more try here. After we get through these next several riders, I'm sure we'll see Stan one more time. So we will still have our 21 in this group. 5 will not be advancing beyond. So these couple of riders here are going to be watching the times of the last few to see how things are going to all sort out for today's competition. McLaughlin for Bike Central race team. Coming across the line for his time. Behind him is Andy Baker. On deck is Brent Berg, followed by Alex Siegel, Andrew Karlberg, and then the first rider for our elite women, Gabriel Zach, should be getting ready to go as well. McLaughlin takes the overall lead with a fast time of 11.351 for McLaughlin. 11.351. Now your fast time of our session. This is Andy Baker going into lap 2, getting the bell. Brent Berg coming on track. Alex Siegel on deck, followed by Karlberg, Zachs, and then Beard should all be getting ready as well. Andy Baker coming in at 2nd overall in our timings today with an 11.569. An 11.569 for Andy Baker. McLaughlin's time of 11.351 stands as the fastest so far. Looks like Pierre Robrecht, our next rider, on the bubble here based on the time of these last few riders. Getting up to speed, Brent Berg. Alex Siegel just coming on track. On deck is Andrew Karlberg, followed by Zach, Spirit, and St. Clair for the elite women. Brent Berg flying fast here. We got an 11.229, and your new quick time so far. Brent Berg takes top spot up to this point, 11.229 for Brent Berg. Waterline Racing sending out Alex Siegel, getting into his back half of the first lap here. 11.229, now the time to beat. Looks like Blaine Peterson, our next rider on the bubble here, based on the timing of these last two. Andrew Carlberg now on track, on deck. The first rider for our elite women, Gabriel Zaks, followed by Sarah Beard, Gabriella St. Clair, and Jay Law, the next few riders to go. We are going to get Stan Douglas back in after Carlberg's time. So Stan Douglas will be coming back after Carlberg here. So one more restart for him. That's Alex Siegel getting his finish. Andrew Carlberg in his first lap. Time to beat was an 11.229, and Siegel will manage it with an 11.048. Alex Siegel, your new fast time with an 11.048. Andrew Carlberg, a few years back, taking the record book for this event in the Elite Men. So he's known for some quick times. He'll still be right around that 11 mark, trying to get underneath comfortably into the high 10s maybe. And that'll put in our last rider to confirm here who's going to be in our tournament after we get through Carlberg here. We've got Stan Douglas. That'll be our last rider for the Master Men. Now we'll start checking in our elite women for their starts. The time to beat is 11.048 from Alex Siegel. And our fast time for this session so far, Andrew Carlberg with a 10.856. 10.856 for Andrew Carlberg. Douglas getting the bell. Now Stan Douglas getting the time. On the track behind is Gabriel Zaks, our first rider for the Elite Women. All riders will qualify here. We have 10 in today's sprint tournament. We'll use their times purely for seeding them in the next stage of this competition. Stan Douglas, the time was a 12.806. Just barely out of our qualifying times. The time on the bubble was a 12.493. Anything faster than that did stay in and qualify for today's Master and Cat 3 Men Sprint Tournament. Those results are getting posted to the live folder, and we will be able to see our start list for those rides soon. This is Gabriel Zaks, number 115 on the track right now for Eclipse Racing. Sarah Beard, Gabriella St. Clair, Jessica Law. Our next three riders up. stand by while we figure out the timing here for our first rider out. Sarah Beard getting the bell. Gabby St. Clair following behind. J-Law and then Jacqueline Winrow. Abigail Katrina Drews to the warm-up circle, number 124. Still kind of working on our first heat here. I think we may have had a mistiming situation. I'll announce a few beyond that. So Sarah Beard, your time, 13.14. Gabby St. Clair, 14.074. J-Law, next rider up here for United Velo. Jacqueline Winrow on deck. Abigail Katrina Drews, followed by O-Ray and Lizanne Wilmot. That's Winrow getting the bell. J-Law's time of 13.392. 13.392 for Jessica Law. We'll have to come back to 8-1 at the end of this one for double checking the time. So for now, that time is unposted. We will be able to reconfirm and check that time here once we get through our 10 riders. So Gabriel Zachs, hold on. We'll get that all figured out. Currently on track, getting timed is Winrow. Just finishing up on their second lap. Abigail Katrina Drews on track for her effort next, followed by Olivia Ray, Lizanne Wilmot, and then Diane Snoblin. Jacqueline Winrow takes the quick time so far with a 12.842. Winrow with a 12.842. For Red Kilo Race Team, Abigail Katrina Drews coming across the finish line, getting their time. The time to beat 12.842. And a very, very close time, just 0.02 of a second slower than Winrow. taking second overall so far. The time is 12.865 for Drews. 12.865 for Drews. Getting the bell is Olivia Ray, Star Trek Racing. Lizanne Wilmot coming up behind. Diane Snoblin and then Tendo Mukahanana. Then we'll double check our first rider's time and get that updated. And your new fast time, Olivia Ray with a 12.28. 12.28 for Olivia Ray. Currently the top spot. Lizanne Wilmot for St. George cycling now on the track. Followed by Diane Snoblin and Tendo Mukahanana, our last rider for this event. Elite Men Keirins should be getting ready to go here. Making your way to the ready circle for the Elite Men Keirins coming up here very soon. The time to beat is a 12.28. Quick time for Wilmot. Currently second fastest of the group, 12.632. 12.632, your second fastest time. Still Olivia Ray, time to beat of 12.28. Diane Snoblin on the track now. Getting up to full speed. And Tendo Mukahanana for triple shot is on track behind her. You'll be your last rider today for the qualifying event. That'll serve as our current third fastest time. Diane Snoblin with a 12.742. 12.742. Currently our third fastest. The junior coming up here. Going to try to upset that balance. Try to get a quick time here on the day. The time to beat is at 12.28. And Mukahanana, our last rider today for the qualifiers. Again, Elite Men for the Keirins. It is time to go. We need our riders to get to the ready area. The first group is Mandow, Newlands, Hawk, Danielson, Lawson, and Levine. Those riders should be now heading to the ready area. Our first group, Mandow, Newlands, Hawk, Danielson, Lawson, and Levine. Heat B is Monday, Day, Hassan, Watkins, Dahl, and Leonard. Heat C is Blaney, Andrew, Kaufman, Pyle, Kennedy, Gardner, and Duffy. And let's see the time for the junior. A competitive time today. Won't take top spot, but it will be our second fastest by just a single thousandth of a second. Wow. 12.624 for Tendo. Putting her just in front of Lizanne Wilmot in the finishing order here for our qualifier. We're going to go back and check our rider from Heat 1 to see if we can confirm the time. If we need to go, we can go to the manual timing, but I think we're going to be able to sort this out. So we'll get that posted shortly, and the official results will be given out in that live folder that we talk about, velodrome.org/live. If I catch wind of it, I'll also announce it for you. We are moving on into the Elite Men Keirins. Top 2 from these rides advance to the semis. Other riders will be seen again in the reps. Fastest way to continue on today towards that top step is to try to get top 2 in round 1 of the Keirins today. The Elite Men Heat A coming up here first is Noah Mandow, Summer Newlands, Grayson Hawk, Tyson Danielson, Dylan Lawson, and Reese Levine. $13.666 for Zach's was that first time that we missed earlier. 13.666. And to keep us on track for our schedule today, once the Keirins are all done, we're going to get into the round 1 for the sprint, starting with the Master Cat 3 men, followed by the women. So all qualifiers from the Master men and Cat 3 men field will need to be getting ready. There's only 3 heats for the Keirins. We'll go into round 1 of the sprints, first for the Master and Cat 3 men, followed by the Elite women. Just finishing up with some of the timing equipment here before we give the go-ahead for the Keirins to start. All right, that's the signal that we are clear on the track for our Keirin riders. Thank you for your patience. Onwards and upwards we go into the first round for the Elite men and their Keirins today. Once again, top 2 advance directly to the semifinal round. That puts you right into the evening schedule, so a very good deal if you can finish top 2. Reps will be ridden later during this session, following the quarterfinal rounds for the sprinters. And Pacer's on his way. Riders ready. These are going to be tough heats to work to the front of. Lots of speedsters here today for our elite men Keirins. Right at the front is Grayson Hawk, number 15. Number 40 right behind is Tyson Danielson. In the middle is number 2, Noah Mandow in position 3 currently. Right behind is right behind is Dylan Lawson, number 24. Our Georgia area competitor here. Number 33, the rider in red, is Reese Levine. Last rider in this group, Summer Newlands, number 51. Coming into their bell lap. Rolling up to speed here, number 51 trying to move up a little bit as Newlands trying to crowd up onto the back wheel of Danielson. Mandel gets himself out of the sprinter's lane, your current reigning champion of this event from a year ago, trying to get directly into this semifinal round, looking very comfy being able to do it here. Pulls away in good style. Who's second across the line? Ooh, Danielson fighting on that sprinter's lane. It will be number 24, looks like, coming around on the red line. Dylan Lawson. Directly to the semifinal round. Everyone else will take another shot at it during the reps. Mandow looking very comfy there, moving away from the group out of turn 2. This is Heat B coming up track now. William Monday, Dylan Day, Hussein Hassan, Michael Watkins, Stephen Dahl, and Nicholas Leonard. On deck is Heat C, our final heat. Sean Blaney, Thomas Andrew, Ryan Kaufman, J.C. Pyle, Quinn Kennedy, Stuart Gardner, and Taylor Duffy. Pacer's getting the signal, and it's on its way. Pacer on the home straight. Riders ready. Race needs to be neutralized. Race needs to get restarted. There we go. Mechanical on the back of the group. We're going to restart for Heat B. Once we get the mechanical situation sorted out, it looked like one rider out of turn 2 there kind of fell off the group. Sorry, I missed the question there in the live chat. wasn't watching things for a little bit. I see the question, where's Wyatt Paul this year? I actually know where he is right now. He was in town for a bit racing the last couple of weeks, including when he came by to set our record for the Elite Men Kilo. That was pretty fun. Other than that, yeah, not being a part of the GP this year. He's at C2s in LA. That makes sense. All right. I figured he was off doing something else fast somewhere else. Yeah. So there you go. Racing C2s down in LA this week, so that's what he's been up to. Got some cheering going on for some of our riders. Carl Cunningham was impressed with Andrew Carlberg's work today. Nice work during the qualifiers. We're just taking a bit of a pause here as we're restarting our second heat. This is round one for the Keirins today, so riders do get the direct invite to the semifinal round, which happens during tonight's session, if they place top 2 out of any of these rides. Very important 4 laps around the track for these riders coming up. He'd be about ready to get his restart. The Pacer's on its way. Your second of 3 heats. About to get its restart. Pacer now on the home straight. Riders ready. Michael Watkins will be the rider coming up right behind the Pacer, number 29. Once again, we're looking for top 2 out of these rides. An important couple of laps here up ahead. Place at the front, and you get to take off the kit until this evening. Or keep it on for extra miles, right? Yeah, just working on your base. Keep the kit on longer. I think that's the math. Stephen Dahl right behind your leader there in second position. A couple of riders from Star Trek racing out here in this group. Both Dylan Day and William Monday in positions 3 and positions 5, respectively. There is Hussein Hassan in the red for National Team Egypt, getting the bell. Nicholas Leonard on the back for Rise Above Cycling, number 25. The front starting to take a little bit of control now. Both 27 and 29 side by side heading into the turn. Now the reacceleration from Star Trek down the back straight. And the lineup of 3 starting to take over. Team Egypt slotted in between Star Trek. Ooh, this could be good for Hassan. He's trying to find the position to come around. It's going to be him versus Day behind him. Ooh. Star Trek will take it at the end. Number 14 and 16, just barely. 16 moves up just in time. That is William Monday. Almost beat out by Hussein Hassan, but good fight there to the line. Top 2 again, directly to that semifinal round, so that'll work well for those 2. Everyone else will get another chance in the reps. Heat C, our last group for the Elite Men Keirins in this round. Sean Blaney, Thomas Andrew, Ryan Kaufman, J.C. Pyle, Quinn Kennedy, Stuart Gardner. One more holder needed for our start here. One more holder, please. Our third and final heat now lined up at the start. Two more riders to advance directly to the semifinal round. Everybody else we'll see again later during this session for the reps. Pacers on away. Your third of 3 heats set to start. Pacer now on the home straight. Riders ready. Quinn Kennedy will take the front spot here in position number 1. That's Ryan Kaufman for Terran Racing, number 52. Directly behind him for the Flying Gorilla Academy team. There's Thomas Andrew, number 17, in the spot behind him. Sean Blaney in the all-black kit in position 4. In the black with some blue and red there, that's Jerry Baker Jr. rider J.C. Pyle in position 5. Stuart Gardner, number 26. Wearing the pickle juice green in the back spot. 2 riders directly to that semifinal round. Our last 2 to advance to join our guaranteed semifinal round rides, what will happen later today during our 6 p.m. session. A little bit of shifting in here as we get before the pacer out of the way. Quinn Kennedy looks over the right shoulder and sees the encroaching Thomas Andrew moving out to the front, wanting to take the front away. Things starting to crowd up. J.C. Pyle follows the wheel. You already see well into the middle of that back straight. Things were already starting to really pile up. Number 18. Really impressive speed from yesterday in the qualifiers for the sprint tournament, trying to show off that top speed here in today's Keirin. Sean Blaney taking over out of turn 4 and well away from the rest of this field. Where's the response from anybody else? It looks like Thomas Andrew from the front's going to find some speed here onto the home straight. Quinn Kennedy fighting for a spot here today. And Quinn Kennedy direct to the semifinals behind Sean Blaney. Kind of blew that heat wide open. We'll see more from these riders during the reps later today. Congratulations to our 6 direct-to-semi qualifiers. More Keirins to go later. We are now moving into round 1 of the sprints. Masters and Cat 3 men. Round 1. With 16 qualifiers, no one's going straight to the next round, so we should be seeing all of our riders in this group of 16 race in this first series. This is our first heat now. Andrew Karlberg against Zachary Simon. Winner qualifies and continues on to the quarterfinal round. The other rider will be eliminated from the contest. Number 12 with a very strong advantage in terms of top speed today. Zachary Simon, number 78 for Coalition, will have a tough battle here against Carlberg. Based just on the measure of that qualifier we saw earlier today. On deck is Alex Siegel going up against Bobby Walther, followed by Brent Berg and Eric Waterman. The number 1 seed here from the qualifiers up against the 16th seed. Simon leading out things down the backstay right now. Carlberg holding on to a little bit of the acceleration here, now trying to make the run at it through the turn. And it'll be Carlberg advancing today into the next round of the contest. Coming up onto the track now should be Siegel and Walther. On deck is Brent Berg and Eric Waterman, followed by Steve McLaughlin and Matthew Gavame. This is Bobby Walther, number 76 in lane 1. Going up our second overall seed, Alex Siegel, racing in the colors of Waterline Racing. If you're a regular fan of the Velodrome, you know that the Grand Prix is our fastest weekend of racing all year long. We get some great out-of-town teams flying in here and joining the fun for our big fast race in Marymoor Park. Cash prizes go up. We got a little bit more excitement around this whole event, and as a result, the prestige, the fun, the honor, the tradition here. It brings in some good names and some good speed for the weekend. This is our third session of 4. This is all about qualifying for the fun in front of the home crowd tonight. 6 p.m., our evening start for Saturday racing. The finals for the sprints will be there. So riders right now are working their way through these qualifiers to survive and fight into that finish later today. Only 4 will be in that final round. Right now we're in this round 1. It's a best of 1 ride. Winner advances to the next round, the quarterfinals. The semifinals and the finals will be happening during our evening session today. Siegel kind of keeping Walther in check through the turn. A little hesitation on the acceleration from the front. He's waiting for the challenge to see that wheel. Trying to do just enough work here. Walther, again, a pretty big time difference between these two. So Siegel making use of that here. Siegel take care of business here. Walther coming across the line second. And even with all this great speed joining us here at the Velodrome, there's still a pretty big gap from first seed to 16th seed. So some of these matchups going to be pretty tough here in this round. We got Eric Waterman coming up to the line first, number 73, taking on Brent Berg, our third overall seed today from the qualifiers. Eric Waterman wearing his national colors today, a national champion for his age group in match sprints, going up against a really tough opponent here from Cyclemeister Brent Berg, who's currently leading the lap. Another tough matchup based on the qualifiers. We know just from their top speed we measured earlier, this will be a tough one for our local rider, Waterman. Trying to bring his A game here against Brent Berg, who showed up with a quick time today. 73 takes the lead spot. Waterman now on the front of the lap. Berg moving up track a bit to use some height in preparation for the incoming acceleration. He'll make a run in it just as they flatten out into the back half of the track. And then Berg showing his top speed. A big jump for the rider from Cyclemeister. Steve McLaughlin, the rider in black in lane 1, up against Matthew Kavame, number 88, up in lane 2 to his right. On deck, Andy Baker and Ben Flom, followed by Campbell Harris and Rome, and then Tomko and Ritter. Pretty significant in some of these earlier heats. McLaughlin still controlling the tempo from the front. Down the back straight, McLaughlin still on the lead of the lap, just leading out the speed and kind of controlling the tempo here. Kavame challenging now, trying to get up to speed. McLaughlin doing just enough work there. It'll be McLaughlin advancing on. Now coming up is Andy Baker and Ben Flom on deck, Campbell Harris and Arome, followed by Tomko and Ritter. Your last heat for this round, Huey and Kovacs, before we'll get to the elite women. Number 75, Ben Flom, down there in lane 1, racing for Shogun of Seattle. Number 11 is Andy Baker, to his right for Liquid Velo Racing. Andy Baker with the advantage from the time measure earlier today is your 5th overall seed, but the times are getting closer. So these later rounds get more competitive as we go. So Ben Flom's going to try to make it tough here on Baker to advance. He might have the expected advantage here. Less so than our earlier heats. Riding high in turn 1. Baker will use the hill to take over at the front now. Flom losing some ground. That's a big gap that's been opened up by Baker, and might be a bit too much for Flom to cover that distance in time. Baker will advance. In lane 1, that's James Campbell Harris, leading factory racing team, up against Kunamasu Narome for the Flying Gorilla Academy in lane 2, number 90. The rider slightly in front with the slower qualifying time today. Narome up against James Campbell Harris. But once again, once we get to these final couple heats, that mostly starts to melt away. From just top speed, Campbell Harris, the rider closer to the rail with the slight advantage coming into this matchup. Narome going to get this rolling up pretty early here. See if this is going to be up to 80% or 100. He's rolling pretty quick. Might be looking to try to just keep the feet moving here now. He looks over his shoulder. Still has more acceleration to go. Reaccelerates into turn 1. Campbell Harris having to do some work to catch now, but starting to wipe away that gap. Trying to make contact somewhere here in turn 3. Finds the rear wheel and now working on chipping away at this lead from Marymoor to the finish line. It'll go to the right on the outside. Campbell Harris will continue on today's tournament. Coming up to the line now is Tomko and Ritter. Alex Huey and Frank Kovacs are on deck. And then we'll get into the elite women's sprints. Immediately following that, getting a good look at the jerseys here for Leading Factory Racing. They're very nice jerseys. Just love them. On lane 1, that's Daniel Tomko taking on his teammate Mike Ritter in lane 2. Getting their start. I can hear the radio chatter trying to how can we discern these two? Bike position's another one for me. Tomko gets very low, very aero on his bike. Ritter a little bit taller frame. He's going to be the rider in second position, again with a little bit more red to his helmet. Whose head is bigger, you said? Oh, yes. Yeah. Meerkat action. Got it. Big sponsor for the track. We were going to need to put a sponsorship blurb for them this evening is Vi13. If you notice, everybody's got these cloth numbers for the weekend, specifically for this event. Our special jerseys that we get throughout our whole season, they're a big sponsor for us. And apparently they also did the work for the Leading Factory Racing kit. So Vi13 always taking care of us in our community. Down the back straight, Tomko rolling things up from the front a little bit here. Comes Ritter to challenge. Two very familiar competitors. Ritter with a nice time today, has a slightly faster finish. Can he use it to come around here to the line? Tomko's trying to hold on from the front. Oh, Tomko will take it. Ritter was making the right move, just maybe not quite early enough or just not enough to finish it. Nice race for the two teammates. Our final heat for Masters Cat 3 Man. This is Alex Huey, number 55, up against Frank Kovacs, number 58. That's Kovacs in lane 1 for the Cyclemeister team in the black kit. Huey up along the rail in the gray with the black helmet. Our last heat looking really competitive. This one should be too. This is our 8th and 9th seed matched up in this round. Huey leaving a little bit of room for a while down that back straight behind Kovacs. He continues to lead the lap through turns 3 and 4, both using maximum elevation here. Again, high potential for this one to be very close as well. Kovacs looking over the left shoulder, finds Huey's dance a little bit behind him, trying to be hard to follow. Coming into turn 1 now, Huey goes underneath, but doesn't take the sprinter's lane. He's staying a little high, trying to shorten the track before the full acceleration. Now side by side with Kovacs, a little bit out of the saddle now, coming into turn 3. Kovacs having to re-accelerate here, having a hard time with it. He'll slow off, go back into the sprinter's lane, and cannot find it. Huey, number 55, will take our final heat in this round, and will continue on in the tournament. For the elite women, there's a lot of riders that were able to get the bye here during this upcoming round, so we only have 2 heats needed. Sarah Beard and Gabby St. Clair are up first, followed by J-Law and Gabriel Zaks, needing to sort out who can continue today. Don't go anywhere, sprinters. We need to continue. You have your quarterfinal rounds coming up right after we finish with round 1. The Keirin reps will occur after the quarterfinal round for the elite women sprinters. Might need to hold for just a moment as we reprint and update some of the start list here. However, currently we are going now into the sprint round 1 for the elite women. 2 heats needed here today to find 2 more riders to continue on and join the 6 that earned the bye. So we already know that Olivia Ray, seeded number 1, Tendo Mukahanana, Lizanne Wilmot, Diane Snoblin, Jacqueline Winrow, and Abigail Drews are sitting safe and pretty for now. But on the track, Sarah Beard, number 121, currently on the inside position up against Gabby St. Clair. Just as they cross the Greg cycle sign side by side. Keeping this position all the way through for about 300 meters side by side is Beard and St. Clair. Getting the bell, 1 to go. Touring all the way around the Velodrome, waiting for the acceleration. There's our first move as Beard will go down turn 2 into the sprinter's lane. St. Clair following the move. It's now just going to come down to the rider in position 2 being able to make the pass on the home straight. Beard from the front will hold on against St. Clair, and we'll continue on in our sprints today. Next up, our final heat for the round is J Law, number 116, coming up against Gabriel Zaks, number 115. Our 8th and 9th seed coming out of the qualifiers. Gabriel Zach starts taking off here from the line. Law letting her run away just a little bit here. So fairly quick opening portion of the lap. Our final heat wrapping up here for the elite women to get our top 8 figured out. Law in the second position, trying to challenge now into turn 3. They'll ride side by side through the final turns onto the home straight. J-Law on the outside position. We'll take it. We see you there in the chat. I don't exactly know what's going on with our audio because we can't monitor it very well on our end. And thank you for your donation, too. From our perspective, we're running a live event. Everything sounds beautiful here. And our monitoring on our side, it looks good. So if you want to describe what you're hearing, we'll keep trying to play with it. We got a couple comments yesterday about it. So we'll keep trying to improve how it sounds on your end. Thank you, though, for the donation, too. That's very kind of you to come in and do that. Coming up now, the Masters Cat 3 Men Sprint Quarterfinals. Our first matchup will be Carlberg and Huey, followed by Siegel and Tomko, Berg, Campbell Harris, and then McLaughlin and Baker. 4 heats in the quarterfinal round. Now calling first heat, Andrew Carlberg and Alex Huey. And now we get into our quarterfinal round for today's sprints for the Master Cat 3 men. This is Andrew Karlberg, number 12, following number 55, Alex Huey. We're down to 8. This will bring us down to 4 after this round. First across the line continues on into the semifinal round. Second across is eliminated from contention today. Karlberg leading the lap now as Huey started off the first 50 meters dancing around in front of him for a little bit. They swap positions here in the second half of the first lap. As the bell's ringing, Karlberg, our overall number 1 seed today, up alongside Huey as they go towards the rail in the turn. Karlberg taking over through turn 3. Huey going back down the hill a little bit to see if he can run at that wheel. Karlberg takes care of business and will continue on today in the sprints. Next up is Alex Siegel and Daniel Tomko, followed by Brent Berg and James Campbell Harris. The final heat is Stephen McLaughlin and Andy Baker. Siegel's in lane 1, number 45 in the blue for Waterline Racing. Taking on Tomko, number 82 in lane 2, now following Siegel into the first turn. Your second overall seed from the qualifying round, Alex Siegel, should have the advantage here against Tomko. Both riders, great sprinters and savvy competitors. Fun to see which one of these two continues on today into the next round of the tournament. Tomko getting up to speed down into the back straight. Siegel leaving a little bit of running room so he can accelerate to the wheel in the middle of the turn here. And working for the overpass now through the home straight, should be able to take care of it. And Siegel will advance today into our next round. Brent Berg and James Campbell Harris now coming up to the line, followed by McLaughlin and Baker. Our elite women, the first heat is Olivia Ray and Jessica Law. Brent Berg in lane 1, number 57. To the left of James Campbell Harris, number 60. One more rider to continue on to join Carlberg and Siegel in later rounds of the tournament. Brent Berg seated 3rd overall. Is number 57 in the front with a slight advantage from that time measurement. McLaughlin and Baker coming up next. Also should be a good matchup for those two to see who can continue on today. Berg bringing it up to speed along the hill with James Campbell Harris right behind him. Opening up the gap pretty big here. Berg should just continue to accelerate away as he's found the turn of speed he needs. Campbell Harris realizing it's just maybe a little too much to cover. Berg advancing with a strong ride. McLaughlin and Baker coming up now. On deck should be Olivia Ray and Jessica Law, followed by Tendo Mukahanana and Sarah Beard. Stephen McLaughlin on the inside, rider out of Portland up against local rider Andy Baker from the times today. Should be very competitive. McLaughlin with plenty of experience as a sprinter. Our overall Omnium contest the Friday night. Andy Baker's here regularly throwing down and getting nice results out here for our Velodrome. Not necessarily of the true sprinter, but putting up a pretty good time today in his qualifier. McLaughlin slightly ahead of him during the qualifying round, seating number 4 overall, I believe. Both riders now moving up to the rail, taking it nice and easy here in the early portions of the race. A little bit of positioning games going on here as the Shark playing in that following position now behind Baker, who kind of swims up and down in front of him. Both riders now down the hill. The acceleration starting from Baker as he felt a little bit of pressure It looked like as McLaughlin kind of moved up on him. McLaughlin keeping control of the short lane. This is going to give him an advantage. He's trying to keep him out of the sprinter's lane until it's a little too late to benefit. He'll back him into that slipstream and just does not quite have the finishing kick. McLaughlin riding a nice one there from the front after he takes over in turn 1. Now into our elite women for their quarterfinal round. Jessica Law for United Velo up against Star Trek's Olivia Ray in this first heat. On deck, Tendo Mukahanana, Sarah Beard, followed by Liz Ann Wilmot, Abigail Katrina Drews. Your last heat will be Diane Snoblin and Jacqueline Winrow. Your fastest qualifier today for the elite women is in the second position right now, following Jessica Law through the first 300 meters of this opening lap. And down the back straight, showing her speed once again as Olivia Ray takes off. Comfortably advancing to the next round, Olivia Ray. Sarah Beard in lane 1, taking on Tendo Mukahanana in lane 2. Running side by side here, coming down to the home straight, about to get their bell. This is Sarah Beard right next door to Tendo Mukahanana, the junior, along the rail with our second fastest time today, qualifying for the Elite Women's Sprint Tournament. The move coming from second position is Mukananana getting up and out of the saddle. Beard feeling the pressure, starting to hold on to the acceleration. Nice side-by-side work here through the turns. Beard holding on from the short lane, but it will end up going the way of the junior on the outside. Tendo Mukananana to continue on today in our tournament. Continuing on with our contest here for the Elite Women, Lizanne Wilmot is the rider down the sprinter's lane right in front of Abigail Katrina Drews. Your third fastest qualifier today is Lizanne, the rider in front currently. After the bell rang, no acceleration from either rider. Still holding on to the speed as Wilmot continues to look over the shoulder, just waiting for the jump. Here comes the move into turn 2. Good acceleration from behind. Big recovery effort here for Lizanne as she's working her way back up to that wheel. Time is ticking here, though. Ooh, catching on the home straight. And barely enough, I think. 117, catching up to the line. Whoa, that was a good move all the way back there in the middle of the turn. Wow. Down to the line. The quick call again. Lizanne Wilmot looks like she'll be safe, but Abigail Katrina Drews, that's a fun ride for the Red Kilo race team. Your last race in this round, Diane Snowblend, Jacqueline Wunrow. The reps for the Keirins are upcoming. And off we go for our last match sprint for a bit here. Diane Snoblin is number 105, lined up in lane 1 to start this race. Jacqueline Winrow, number 111 for Simet Racing, will be her challenger in what could be our closest matchup yet, although that previous heat coming down to the line. We shall see how this one plays out. Ramping it up here into the second half here of this lap. Snoblin on the outside now, dropping down in the sprinter's lane. Winrow having to respond here, but the gap starting to open up a bit. Snoblin showing some good power out of the hill there, and that's a big gap to fix in the final 100 meters. Snoblin will take the heat. Keirin reps. Top rider advances to the semifinal round. We have 4 heats. Heat A, Ben Flom, James Campbell Harris, Sean McGraw, and Blaine Peterson are coming up now, followed by Heat B, Matthew Kavame, Stuart Gardner, Kenny Williams, Mike Payne. Whoops, sorry. Clicked the wrong one. There's a lot of tabs on this thing. I'm like, those aren't the right names. Okay, we have in the Elite Men Keirin rep round 2 big heats. Top 3 get to advance out of the reps, so this one's going to be fun. We've only got 2 groups coming up here. Top half, essentially, of the groups will advance. This is Heat A, Tyson Danielson, Summer Newlands, Stephen Dahl, Nicholas Leonard, Thomas Andrew, Ryan Kaufman. On deck, Reese Levine, Hussein Hassan, Grayson Hawk, Michael Watkins, Stuart Gardner, and J.C. Pyle. Keirin reps coming up now. Following that, we'll get into the semifinal round for our sprinters. The last thing we'll be doing here during this session. Pacer now on the home straight. Riders ready. Top 3 continue today from the reps. Second chance opportunity for these riders to continue racing in the Keirins. They will finish this contest if they do make it on during tonight's race, starting at 6 o'clock. You will see the finish for both our Keirins and for all the sprints going on today. Bringing things up to speed. Top three moving on. Looks like drawing for position number 1 right behind the pacer for Keirin Racing. Number 52, Ryan Kaufman, will be at the front of this group. Summer Newlands right behind, number 51. Tyson Danielson. Next up in the lineup, Stephen Dahl, Nicholas Leonard, Thomas Andrew. Our group there at the back of 3. Not quite in that order. They're getting up to speed now as the pacer pulls out of the way. Kaufman still on the lead of the lap, but here now comes Summer Newlands to get things rolling to speed. Top 3 advance, so trying to get things started out of the turn. Don't need to finish at the very front. Newlands going the long way here. Danielson following the wheel so far. You can see the movement from the back half of the group as Flying Gorilla Academy starting to accelerate nicely. Thomas Andrew trying to come up alongside Tyson Danielson. Newlands looking pretty good here. Just needs to bring this power to the finish line. Tyson, and it will be Thomas Andrew, number 17, third across the line. We'll continue to race today in our Keirin. Heat B now coming to the track for their second chance. After this, semifinal round for sprinters. Pacer getting the signal and it's on its way. Your second of the 2 reps now set for their start. Pacer on to the home straight. Riders ready. JC Pyle draws position 1. Hussein Hassan right behind him. All riders getting lined up behind the pacer for 4 laps. Top 3 advance. Pacers out of the way, and now we're really going. It's time for one more lap of Keirin Racing during our session. 3 to advance. Michael Watkins trying to move up along the side. Now currently behind Hussein Hassan, who's following JC Pyle down the back straight, and here comes the pack to overtake the junior. Hassan leading things out. He was so close to making it his first time here, so he's going to try and take control from the front. Hassan being followed in here. Looks like we're going to have number 15 on the inside, Grayson Hawk, number 29, Michael Watkins, and Hussein Hassan, number 9. I think our front 3 to race some more Keirins today. Semi-final round for the sprinters. Masters Cat 3 men coming up to the line here next. This is Andrew Carlberg and Stephen McLaughlin. Winner to race in front of the crowd tonight for first and second. Rider second across the line will race for third and fourth later during the final series. On deck is Alex Siegel and Brent Berg. McLaughlin in the black in lane 1 up against Andrew Carlberg up against the rail, number 12. Riders getting their start. 2 laps around the track to sort out who's going to be going for the gold here. He's going from the get-go here. McLaughlin knows that top speed is not necessarily to his advantage here today against Carlberg, so Carlberg's going to have to race a kilo against him. He's going. He was testing the waters to see if Carlberg would be right there, and now he's going away. This is going to be tricky. McLaughlin pulling out the tricky tactic of just going from the beginning of the race. It's working so far. Carlberg's got a long road to catch him. McLaughlin racing for first and second in front of the crowd later today. Brent Berg and Alex Siegel now coming to the line for their race in the semi-final round. Brent Berg in lane 1 in the black. In the blue for Waterline Racing, that's Alex Siegel in lane 2. One rider to go up against the Portland speedster McLaughlin for first and second later tonight. The other will go up against Carlberg for a race for third and fourth. Two very quick riders meeting up here. Our second and third qualifiers from the 200 meters. Just a tenth of a second or so separating these two. Nice riding earlier today from both to get to this stage. Didn't have too much challenge. They rode well enough in the qualifier to be in a very good spot through the early rounds. And I think they both know this could come down to the wire, so playing this one very close to the chest right now. Up to the rail, Berg in front until Siegel rolls at him a little bit here. He's underneath and still waiting. Pressure point coming here as they hit the back straight. An important sprint coming up. Siegel's staying as high as he can for as long as possible. Now Berg also above the blue line. Now he'll come down to try to benefit a little bit from the slipstream through the turn. Trying to hit the pass. Siegel's just got to control it from the front. Siegel, Berg, Siegel by about a half a bike. Good sprint for these two. Siegel in a good head-up match sprint takes it by about half a bike. McLaughlin and Siegel will meet up later today, fighting for first and second in their tournament. We'll see more from Berg and Karlberg later on as well in their race for third and fourth. The elite women now also in their semifinal round, our last four races of this session. Last two, I should say. As we now bring up Heat 1, Olivia Ray will be taking on Diane Snoblin. Heat 1 now to the start. Olivia Ray and Diane Snoblin. Diane Snoblin, number 105, started down in lane 1 and will lead the lap for the first bit here. Behind her, our overall 1 seed today, Olivia Ray, number 110. Both riders coming from out of town to compete here for the weekend. Burnaby Velodrome Club, our friends up above the border, being represented today by Diane in the front position. Star Trek, conglomerate of some great racers here this weekend, flying in with a big squad. Olivia Ray representing some of the fastest they brought here this weekend. Qualifying overall number 1 in our 200 meters today. Currently following around the track right now behind Snoblin. Both riders at the rail coming down into the bell. Snoblin knows the only movement will be to her left. She's going to ramp things up into the turn. Already at pretty good speed as they both will start to accelerate down into the sprinter's lane. Ray will follow nicely and then try to set up this pass pretty early into turn 3. But with the difference of speed that she's brought today, I think that's going to be enough to encourage Snoblin to save it for later. Ray will take the ride and will race for first and second later tonight in front of the home crowd. We'll see more from Snoblin in the race for third and fourth. And now our second ride in the semifinal round. Number 106, Tendo Mukahanana, our second overall qualifier today, taking on the third seed, Lizanne Wilmot. One rider to race up against Olivia Ray later for the gold atop our podium today, the championship spot. The other rider will race again for the third and fourth spot in the overall podium. Tendo, a junior young rider out of British Columbia, coming down to race here for some of our big events last year and now again here this year. A national champion for her age group. Many-time champion, world record holder, the penny farthing, all-around super athlete. Lizanne Wilmot comes out here fairly frequently over the last several years, competes at the GP, currently living in Australia and has been a citizen there for a very long time. Also Canadian-born, though. So both out-of-towners, again, making the laps fast here for us in the GP weekend. It's Tendo in the front position. The Aussie behind her in the bright red kit and bike frame. Holding on to the speed as long as they could. Hitting turn one. Now the drop from Tendo first. She had a quicker time today, but pretty close between these two. A couple tenths of a second, I think, separating them. Wilmot still leaving a little bit of running room. She's waiting to try to do the catch here. You want to be at max acceleration as you meet that rear wheel. Nice move from Wilmot. Will be enough. Tendo in the short lane. Lizanne on the outside. Has enough, though. Runs at the wheel and times it so beautifully. The experienced sprinter gives out a woo across the finish line. Tendo making that tough, but Lizanne playing that well. That's the second closest finish today for Lizanne. And that brings us to the end of our third session. No more racing here this afternoon. We are going to recess for a while here. We'll be back with racing at 6 p.m. Starting a little earlier than usual. Our evening session at 6 p.m. We'll get the conclusion for all this great racing you got to see today. Our finals for the sprinters and the Keirins, as well as some other great races tonight you'll want to be here for.
But don't worry, there's a bike swap happening behind the grandstands in between the sessions. So come check out all sorts of frames and wheels and other free things. Free t-shirts.
And with that, we'll sign off for now. Looking forward to having you back later today, 6 p.m. for more racing. We'll start up the broadcast shortly before that. Thank you for being with us. We'll see you back here soon.